Well, the first day of the second week of World's Groups is done with coverage presented by Mobalytics. I'm joined right now by Rekkles. Rekkles, I was very disappointed when I woke up this morning because I realized that I was like, man, I bet you Fnatic doesn't do an interview, even if they win some games today, because they're probably not making it out of groups, and I wouldn't even get a chance to interview them the entire time. Instead, I watched Immortals go 0-4, and you guys win 4 games in a row. So, first off, was this a surprise to you, or did you guys wake up, go to the arena, knowing that this was going to happen?
It was a surprise to us as well. I think no one expected to beat Longshoot to begin with, but we definitely felt like the Immortals game could have gone either way, just as it did last week.
Yeah.
So once we won that in such a in such a extreme fashion, we felt like all the momentum in the world was with us, and we had a much better preparation idea going into the Marines game, and we took that pretty convincingly as well. And then it was just up to us playing Immortals again. But at that point, we were a bit more worried because we felt like maybe they figure some stuff out, maybe they have a better plan going into the game because we felt like the plan they had before wasn't necessarily the most fit for them.
Right.
But then they went for the same thing again, and we felt like we kind of fixed the issues from the game before, so we had a not necessarily easy time, but more dominant performance. And then in the last game, Marines pulled out something that we haven't seen before. We were kind of expecting, this whole everyone squishy, everyone is full damage, full pressure lanes and all that, but instead they actually went for a team fight meta comp, which they actually played pretty well as well. So it was a tough game. I feel like it could have definitely gone either way. It was just a few mistakes on their side, a few mistakes on ours, and then eventually we had this one big elder fight where I ran in and died, and then my whole team killed him, and we won. I mean, I usually don't do that kind of stuff, but it was nice to for once be on a death timer and just already cheering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, was it just the Immortals game at the beginning that you won that allowed you to swoop back in, or was there anything that happened during the break? Because obviously, I feel like the Fnatic we saw this week was very different than from the Fnatic we saw last week.
Mm-hmm. So I think for last week, even though we went 0-3, there weren't so much stuff we could have done for the Marines game because they showed lane swap for the first time. We even scouted their regular season summer games, and they had one lane swap out of 40, and we thought even if they were to lane swap, they maybe wouldn't know exactly what to do in all scenarios, and we still have some veterans in the team, so we kind of know what to do in lane swaps. But then they just had this crazy strategy with the Nocturne getting 6 when we were level 2 or something. Yeah. So it was something new, and I don't feel like we could have done much different there and then. I felt like preparation maybe could have been better, but it was hard to know beforehand, right? And Longshoe is just on a level above pretty much every other team you see at this tournament. Maybe RNG, SKT could be contesting, but I'm not sure. And for the Immortals game, it obviously could have gone either way. I made a mistake in the late game that cost us a game, but it might as well have very well been the winning play and won us a game. So we didn't feel like there was no hope going into this week or anything like that, like many people pointed it out to be.
Yeah.
But definitely something that we fixed going into this week was that instead of trying to counteract what everyone else is doing, we just tried to figure out a better way for us to play the game, and then maybe make one or two small tweaks for each draft for each specific team. So for example, against Immortals, we felt like they were very successful in tank junglers, so we just banned 3 of them in the first draft. And against Marines, we felt like they were really successful in Galio because it allowed them to do these cheesy new strategies that you haven't seen before. And against Longshoe, we just tried to play more scaling and maybe see if we can match up against them in the later stages, which we obviously couldn't, but at least we played more than 20 minutes, so there's that at least.
Yeah, I mean, so you now escape as the second seed, and historically, second seeds going into quarterfinals are in a dangerous position because I don't know if you know this, but there's these things called Korean teams,
Yep.
and they often get the first seed, and then they usually beat whoever they face in the quarterfinals. So, are you hoping to dodge Koreans and hoping that a random team gets into the first place that you can take out, or are you looking to face any of these guys? Do you have any thoughts so far in quarterfinals?
So we're obviously looking to dodge SKT. That's a no-brainer. And I think RNG is looking really good as well. So that's a team we would also like to dodge. We've been scrimming them a lot, actually, and they've been looking really, really good, like Longshoe good. Yeah. So that's a team we wouldn't want to play either. But then again, you wouldn't want to play really anyone out of Group C that comes out. You wouldn't want to play Samsung. Right. I guess you could possibly play G2 because then you at least have well, that's not even possible maybe at this point, is it? RNG is kind of guaranteed first if you just win one game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's looking very good for RNG.
Yeah, so let's say it's SKT, RNG, and maybe maybe World Elite. I think actually they have probably the best chances in that out of those three in the Group D. And then I would say that we would probably rather play a Chinese team than the Korean one. That's for sure. But even then, like the Chinese teams are not bad this year. I feel like especially RNG are really good this year. So it's gonna be tough. I agree on the second seed is gonna have a tough statement. I think it's gonna be a miracle if we make it out of quarterfinals. But just being there already is a dream for many, including me, because I missed Worlds last year. So just being here already is crazy, and going to quarterfinals much more so. But you never really know what happens either on the day. Maybe they have a bad day, maybe we have a great day, and we just win it like 3-2 or something, close games. You never really know. I haven't given up or anything like that.
Right.
I'm gonna come to Guangzhou and just play like it's my last game ever. And then if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least then we gave it our all, and I think that's what matters.
Yeah. I imagine the team's just like through the roof right now, feeling super ecstatic. Are you guys going to? Because you have quite a little bit of downtime. Like the nice part of having the first day for groups is that you get like so many extra days. So do you just go back in and start scrimming again, or do you have a chance to kind of like breathe?
I'm pretty sure we have an off day tomorrow. I think that's something we all already talked about, that even if we were to make it, we wouldn't play the day after because people would have other obligations, maybe other interests that they would want to do. But for myself, I feel like I'm only going to be here once. Like, I cannot really know if I will be at Worlds ever again, and much less so in a quarterfinals. Yeah. So I feel like there's no real reason to rest or to do anything else. I'm just going to play solo queue when I get back tonight and try to get scrims as soon as possible and just be as prepared as I possibly can be so that I can go home without regrets. Because I know that previously when I went to Worlds, I wasn't as disciplined as I am now, and I was maybe considering, for example, taking a day off or something if we were to, like, after we won the groups, for example, in Paris. Right. And I felt like that kind of haunted me for the rest of the tournament. I felt like I was always one day behind. Yeah. And I know that I've been through that already. And it's something I want to give to my teammates as well, and kind of tell them that I think we should just keep playing, because we never know when we're going home. Might as well be in a week. Yeah. And then I know that we're going to regret it if we didn't do everything we could. So you'll see me in solo queue tonight. Okay.
Enjoying that Chinese solo queue. I hear G2 players hate it because they say it's just like all the players just want a team fight all the time in solo queue or whatever. It drives them crazy. Is there anything that you would like to say to any of the fans?
So ever since I came to China, I haven't had a VPN, which I know a lot of people have, and I haven't been able to check Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. So I haven't really seen much what the...
It's all supportive. No one has said a bad thing about you guys. Sure. It's just fanatic. It's okay. They got this. We believe in them.
Yeah, sure. I don't believe a word of that. But either way, I want to say thank you so much for all the support we've been getting. At least in China, we've been getting a lot of support. Yeah. So I think if by any means it's anywhere close to that, I'm thrilled. I'm happy to be here and happy to represent Europe. And we'll see you guys in quarterfinals. It's gonna be great fun to go to another city and see more of China. I really like China, actually. I think it's a great country. I didn't expect to have so many fans either. Like, I came here and I expected actually like no one to know who I was, because I know that we as Europeans, at least, or Westerners maybe even, have troubles checking out what's going on in China. We can't follow their solo queues. We can barely watch their official games. Like, I think they started a stream much later in China than other regions. So I was surprised when people actually knew who I was when I came here, and much.
You have like a fan club. You have like a fan club.
Yeah, when I had a fan club. So it's awesome. Like, I'm happy to be around. That's for sure.
Very, very good. Well, thank you so much for the interview. And for everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things Worlds right here on my YouTube channel. Guess what? Worlds is happening in the arena right behind me right now, and I would not be here in China covering it if it wasn't for Mobalytics. Mobalytics is a service that helps you figure out your personal strengths and weaknesses so you can get better at League of Legends. So help me out by checking them out at mobalytics.gg/Travis.